why we become addicted to social media. Grab your seatbelts because we're going on a ride. Why do we become, this is a spiritual meaning, by the way, so you could just turn the video if you're looking for me to talk more scientific, because I'm not. This is definitely spiritual. You know, the Bible talks about our flesh, and I'm gonna put scriptures on. But the Bible talks about our flesh and how our flesh it is contrary to the spirit, right? It is in opposition of the spirit. And when you think about this, to me, guys, even as I walk, as God keep revealing to me the truth of this world, this is like a video game, but like a very serious video game. That's how it truly is, because it's crazy and it's mind-boggling to you to just think about what is actually going on in the spiritual realm and how this is really a fight. Truly, it is. So we know that we have fleshly desires, and these are things that are just far from God. Anything that God is for, our flesh is against. And then you also have an enemy, which the Bible talks about as well. He was cast out of heaven, had big war and everything. Now he's roaming the earth. We also know about him. And I say this to say God has a purpose for all of us, right? He knew you before you were born. He knew you before you knew yourself. You were predestined. You your destiny has already been set. Um, and that is to do the will of God, right? You were brought on this earth, from Adam and Eve to manage this earth. Through the fall, it still is to control and manage the earth and do all of those things. But it's also due to the fall, we have another focus now, which is to gather up people, and to spread the gospel to the nations, before we pass on into this physical realm. And that's everybody. I don't care who you are and which field you're in. That's it. You spread the gospel. You let people know of His glory, of His greatness. You manage this earth. You are dominant of this earth. So when you see people crying over bills and this and that, they don't have no dominion. And that's everybody. All of us fall short of that. We let this world take us over. We tend to get addicted to substances, addicted to these social media and all of these phones and stuff, and we have no control. God, listen, we were supposed to be running things, and we are going back to that, praise to God. But I say that just to kind of give you guys an understanding of spiritually what we are fighting up against, because it's serious, And when you look at distractions, that's what I call it. So our flesh wants to do the opposite of God, and God, your purpose. He has your purpose and everything, which is good. And your flesh, of course, it is the opposite of what God wants, right? So your flesh will distract you to do things that you should, would distract you from doing things that you should not be doing, so that you won't reach your purpose, so that you won't know who you are, and you won't become, because it's already in you, but you won't become what God has predestined you to be. So when you look at these, you might be addicted, and it's all type of addictions. It's not, but we are just on this social media series. But you look at social media, and what most of the times it's negative, right? But when you look at a lot of the time that you spent on these devices, on Instagram and everything, and just gorging yourself in people's lives, you're falling away from your purpose. You're falling away each and every day from what you were predestined to be. You know, your flesh, every time that you want to go on, you want, it feels good. It's self gratification to just go on whatever device you're going on and just scroll and do nothing and worry about things that does not matter, things that are completely just destroying you. You probably, and a lot of the things on social media is opposite to God. You know, and even let's say if you're on Christian TikToks, because I found myself when I knew about it, I was like, oh, okay, it's interesting. That is good, but hey, it's not right because it's not what you should be doing. So you're spending 10 hours on um, TikTok, Christian TikTok, and you're not doing the right thing, which you should be doing. So that not all good things you should be doing. All right. So when you look at social media and why everybody is so addicted to it, that's the reason. That's the plan of the enemy. The enemy do not. I do not need you to create to be the best-selling book for children and spreading the gospel. I do not need you to do that. I do not need you to open up a ministry. I do not need you to post on YouTube and talk about God. I do not need you to do these things. I need you to do nothing. I need you to just roam around and just be on social media and just make no sense. That's what I want you to do. So that is the plan of the enemy. And of course, our flesh, our desires, is the opposite of what God wants. Anything God wants you to be in one marriage and live wholesome, the flesh wants you to cheat. The flesh is out to kill you. It's out to destroy us. You know, even when you think about food that the flesh likes, greasy hamburger, ice cream, cheesecake, and no wonder when you went to the doctor, he said you have 2 more weeks to live. The flesh, the flesh, the flesh. The flesh don't want no vegetables and fruits. The flesh wants everything that is not of God. So that social media, that's distraction. I can get you to spend 10 hours of your life and not progress spiritually. I won. I won. I won. You know, so we have people that are, and even when it comes to substance abuse, all of those things, and us not having control over these things. If you guys only knew who you are, what you can do, that you have control over everything in this earth, over a plant, over weed, over a cell phone. You can tell that cell phone, I'm not wasting my time today. I'm going to do something that is productive. I'm going to do something. I'm going that leads me to the path that I am supposed, or to become what I am supposed to become, because ideally it's in you already. You just have to become it. And guys, when I realized this, because I was bound, I was bound by wasting my life. I was bound, and I just used to run to these apps and everything just to feel free, because I was so empty, because I didn't have God in my life. So I was empty, I was depressed, and it was a lot of stress going on, and I had no control over my life, and social media was the only thing that I had next to the liquor bottle. I could switch it up, either or, so man, this is just to spread light, because I was there. I knew what it is to feel bound by something. I know how it feels to feel as if you cannot have discipline. I know how it feels to, to, to just feel as if you are unable. And this for people also that battle an addiction. You can and you will overcome it. This is not you. You are greater than this. Don't you know? All things, with man, nothing is possible. But God, with God. And people think that you have to go to him perfect. If you try to go to God perfect, you will never come to him. He has to, you come to him and then he works in you. He works in you. He works in you. He takes out the trash and he re-downloads some new stuff in it. That's what he does. He changes you. And sometimes it can be, for me, it was like for deliverance, of course we all have all other sins, that we still battle through each and every day. But when I tell you, like, he kind of, when it comes to the social media thing, it just clicked. And yes, I did backslide sometimes, but it really just, it transformed me. And then I started to realize the plans of the enemy. Wasting your time. Time is something that you cannot get back. I need you guys to wake up. The minute you go on YouTube and do these things, it's like you waste 3 hours and you're like, where have you ever, and I'm sure you guys probably said this before, where did the time go? Yeah, you wasted. Don't let anybody steal your time. Do not let Chris Brown steal your time. Do not let anybody, whoever else, do not let anybody steal your time. I don't care who they are. We need the true disciples, and the only way you can do that is you spend time with God. You master your skill that you have in this life, that you were predestined to have. So that's all that I have for this video, guys. It's just, you can do it. I'm telling you, with God, all things are possible. Um, you don't have to stay where you are right now. You don't. Whatever you can do, whatever you want to do, you can do it with Christ. I'm telling you. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself because God knows you can do it. So even when it comes to social media, you don't have, trust me. I'm living proof. Guys, trust me, I'm living proof that I spend, the minute I reach, I'm like I told you guys, I'm to work on social media. The minute I reach home, I'm on social media as well. And until I go sleep. So you can be free. I'm living proof. So anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace and blessings.